Hello, Dr. Tawana Worlds by birth, also known as a disruptor. Did you know that millions who grow up in poverty also die in poverty? Have you ever heard the saying, what good can come out of the hood? Well, I'm here to disrupt for just a minute. Yes, I was that little girl that grew up in the hood, grew up in the ghetto, single mother, absent father, eating out of the trash can just to survive. But I was also that girl that determined way back then that I was not going to become a product of my past. And now I help others do the same thing. I'm not a victim, I'm a victor. I help men and women from similar backgrounds find value in their own vault and create wealth from within. Hey, what's up, y'all? What is going on? Hope all is well with everybody. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Let me go ahead and get my cousins over here. Excuse me. Let me go ahead and get my cousins over here and we'll go ahead and get started, okay? Let me fix this real quick. And we are ready to go. Uno momento. I'll be ready to go in just a moment. All right. Hey, what's going on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook family? It is your girl, Dr. Worlds, coming by real short, sweet, and straight to the beat. I want to welcome everybody that is here for the first time. And I also want to welcome back those who, come and hang with your girl, Dr. Worlds. That being said, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do your due diligence and pay your dues. And simply, your dues are your fees over here. It's not a Cash App or a Zelle or a Stripe or a PayPal. It is simply a share, a tag, an invite, engagement in the comment section, smashing the heart button, helping me beat the algorithm, because it's simply man versus machine. And then secondly, it helps me reach the people that I am sent for on this live, okay? What I may say, what I may have may not be for you, and I'm cool with that. But it may be for somebody that you know. So please go ahead and pay your due diligence. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and get straight into it. Let me make sure I've sent myself everything that I need to send to myself, that I want to share with you guys really quickly, okay? Bear with me 1 second. And what is this? Hold on 1 second. Send that. Glad I checked. All right. All right, we ready to roll. So, I did have a couple headlines that I wanted to share really quickly. And I'm not going to hold you guys here long. Again, welcome to everybody, whether you're here for the first time or you are, coming back. Thank you for tapping in. Want to earn the rights to your time. I titled this Not on My Watch for multiple reasons. The first reason I am going to share is there's some things that is happening that we need to be very, very, very aware of. And I know there's so many things out here that's trying to fight and strive for our attention. Nevertheless, we got to be paying attention to the real stuff that's going on, okay? The stuff that they're trying to keep us in the dark about. I want to just, briefly go over this system so that you know before you were even born, before you were even in existence, this system was not for you and it was not for me. Okay. It was already rigged. That's why we see the things happening that we see now happening. Is because this was all one big play. Okay. It's for the rich to get really, really rich and for them to use the poor to get really, really rich. Okay. So the very first thing that I do want to share here, and when I say not on my watch, we're not going to be ignorant to Satan's devices. That's number one. We are going to be aware of what is going on so that any move we make that move to be our best move. And just some little historical facts. In 1913, I'm going to go back here and say this actually. Okay, here we go. In 1913, the Federal Reserve, the IRS, and the American Cancer Association, as well as the Rockefeller Foundation, all of these were established in 1913. Remember that, okay? The Federal Reserve, the IRS, American Cancer Association, and the Rockefeller Foundation all came into existence in 1913. I know for sure that's before I was born. I know for sure that was before my mother was born. And I know for sure that was before my grandmother and possibly great grandmother was born. Okay. So before we were even in existence, before we even were created, this system was rigged, and it was rigged this way. In 1914, just 1 year after its inception, they had World War One. Okay. And this is some little fun facts, our historical facts that our American history books never ever talk about. I know this for a fact. So again, quick recap: 1913, Federal Reserve was instituted, IRS was instituted, Rockefeller Foundation was instituted, and American Cancer Society was instituted, as well as the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, was created. The Warburg, some people are aware of him, are not aware of him, but he is linked to the Rothschilds. They installed the central banking system, which is the Federal Reserve. And then in 1914, World War One happened. Do you think that's a coincidence or not? I'm going to give y'all some information about the games that are being played, just give you some historical facts, right? Do you think that's a coincidence? Let me know in the chat if you think that that is a coincidence that all of these entities were created in 1913, and then a year later, war happens. Okay, we're going to keep going. Now, in 1912, the Titanic sank. We all familiar with the Titanic, the movie, okay? In 1912, 1 year before all of those entities were created, the Titanic sank. In 1914, World War One broke out. Now I'm about to fill in the blanks. On board of the Titanic was John Jacob Astor the fifth, Benjamin Guggenheim, and Isidore Strauss. I'm sure these names are not familiar. They were not familiar to me either. Nobody in history ever really mentioned these cats. But all three of these, plus some, were all wealthy businessmen who opposed the creation of the central bank. So before the central bank in 1913, Federal Reserve, IRS, American Cancer Society, what I just covered previously, before that was created, it was an idea, it was a thought, it was supposed to come together. But in 1912, the people that opposed this centralized banking system and were the richest men in America, probably in the world, they're on the Titanic, and the Titanic sinks. And notice that they went with women and children first. So what do you think happened to a lot of the men? I'll let you go ahead and decide. I'm going to keep on moving forward because I'm not going to be here long. I just want to give y'all some history about why I say the system is rigged. It was rigged before you existed. And if you really don't know how to play this game, you will get beat in this game. You have to know how to play the game. If you don't, you will get beat in this game. And that's why it's very important for me to come by here and pound your door down. Really doesn't matter, to get your attention. Okay. So now that we got, recap for those that's just coming on, probably don't know what in the world I'm talking about. I'm going to say it again really fast so that you know why I say, for one, not on my watch, and why I say, for two, that this system was rigged against you. It's not working for you. It don't have your benefits in its best interest. And this is the reason why you need to do something immediately to get yourself out of this system, to get yourself from being dependent on this system, okay, etc. So real quick recap, okay, just in case y'all just came on, you don't know what in the world I'm talking about. In 1913, and I want you to remember these years, I'm giving y'all these historical nuggets that we were never taught, so that, in order for you to get in the game, you got to know the game. And I want you to win the game. I don't want you to just get in the game and look around like, oh, what do I do? So this is the reason why I'm giving you information about the type of game that you're playing. And if you really paid attention, even outside of what I'm telling you right here, right now, if you paid attention to Monopoly, you'd be further along than where you are financially, mentally, emotionally. You'd be way farther than where you are. Okay. So in 1913, really quickly, bring y'all up to speed. The Federal Reserve, the IRS, the American Cancer Association, and the Rockefeller Foundation were all established. There's some other ones that was established in 1913, but this Federal Reserve, IRS, Rockefeller Foundation, and American Cancer Society is the centralized bank, right? The ADL was also created in 1913, as well as Warburg, which is linked to the Rothschilds, okay? And this is the ones who installs the central banking system. It's not a coincidence, it's straight up facts. Before this came into fruition, it was an idea, it was a discussion. This was the plan that they were going to come up with, that they were going to create a centralized banking system that we are now a part of right now. However, in 1912, the Titanic sank. And the Titanic sank, but it just didn't sink. It sank with some of the wealthiest men in that dispensation of time, probably in the world, but for sure in America, okay? It sank with these men on there. John Jacob Astor V, Benjamin Guggenheim, and Isidor Straus. These three wealthy. Y'all seen the Titanic from the movie. This wasn't just no regular boat. It represented wealthy. People still going down to the bottom of the ocean now, finding, sterling silver and pearls, things that represent wealth. Nevertheless, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to let you know that those three men on there oppose the centralized bank. That way you get some clarity about why was it only women and children who was able to go first and then all those men sank. Okay. Why was it that, they hit an iceberg and all of a sudden, they didn't even see the iceberg on this wealthy boat, this expensive boat with these wealthy businessmen? How could they be so careless? Now you get a little bit of insight. Right after they sank, okay, they died in 1912. Then in 1913, the centralized banking system was a thing. 1 year later, in 1914, World War I broke out. Okay. JP Morgan owned the Titanic, the ship. He canceled at the last minute. They did it. When the resistance sank, the system rose. How interesting is that? JP Morgan owned the Titanic ship. I hope y'all connecting the dots. He canceled being on the ship at the last minute. They didn't. And then when his ops, that's what the resistant mean. When his ops sank, then all of a sudden here comes the centralized banking system. Okay. The Federal Reserve is a private banking syndicate, gains controls of American resources. Do y'all know that the Federal Reserve is not a government entity? It is controlled by the big dogs such as the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Warburgs. When we pay taxes, who we paying taxes to? Who is Uncle Tom? I'll wait. If you go do your research, it's not a man. It's an entity. Okay? They print and lend and you owe. Just remember that. This Federal Reserve, they print the money, lend you the money, and you owe them back the money that they use nature to create. Keep on going because I ain't going to be here long, okay? 1913, the IRS is born. The same year they took over, they started implementing taxes. We going to give you, we print the money, okay? And let me give you a little backstory on that real quick. When they came and confiscated this land, and say, hey, we need to build civilization here. We need to build buildings and monuments. And they had their little plan, right? So the settlers that were here already, they had a way of doing things. They had a way of trading and bartering. Hey, rice, salt, oil. This was their ecosystem. When they came in and took over this land, they said, hey, we got to come up with a way to get paid. We got to come up with a way to make money off of people, pretty much in a sense. So we're going to go in and we're going to tell the people that we have a new currency. And before they told them that they have a new currency, they told them, hey, we're going to grow and we're going to build this amazing civilization. It's going to be secure. It's going to be safe. Your family will be able to thrive, but we need infrastructure. We need to build this. We need to build that. We need to build this. We need to build that. Okay. And we're going to need y'all to build it. And the people are like, yeah, I'm down. It's like, We're going to build it, but we're going to charge you a tax to live here once it's built. And they're like, okay, cool. They say, but the only thing is, we will not accept your form of currency, rice, sugar, salt. No. We have our own currency, and that is what you have to pay the taxes with. And so the settlers was like, this is how we get down. This is what we've been doing. We want a nice place to live. We want jobs and different things of that sort. We want that too. But this is the way we trade, and this is the way we live. So they went back to the drawing board when the people said, no, y'all go look this up. It's on YouTube. Go to the History Channel. How was taxes instituted? I'm just giving you the modernized version, but go look it up. I've studied this. So what they did was they went back to the drawing board and said, man, them people ain't on board. Them people don't want our currency. They told us flat out no. So then they said, wait a minute. How about if we tell them if they don't pay in our currency, they're going to go to jail? And they went back and said, look, we're going to charge taxes for you to be a part of civilization and what we're building, what we're doing. And this is the only form of currency that we will accept. If you do not use our currency, because that's the only currency we will accept, you will be put in prison. You will be jailed. So now people were in fear. And in fear of going to jail, in fear of being separated from their families. So they lined up by the groves. They said, oh, it's just a little tax. It's not a big deal, So now they got these people working in this system. We'll pay you to work. We'll give you our form of currency. But you will pay us back. This is how they created the financial institution. We lend you $1, you give us 10 back. If you want to make more than $10 that you got to pay a week to be a part of our civilization, then you can do something called overtime. You can work more hours to make more money. Okay? But at the end of the week, we're going to pay you for the labor that you're doing. So we're going to give you enough to pay us back. But if you want extra to be able to buy vegetables, and you want extra to be able to buy clothing, and you want extra to be able to actually, like get you a hut or whatever the case they had back then as living arrangements, then you can work more and make more money, but you have to pay us, right? So that's really all this system, this job, that's really all this is. They pay you in their form of currency to come and build their empires, to give their kids and their grandkids the best life, to build generational wealth. We will pay you minimum wage, but before you even see that minimum wage, we will take our taxes out of your minimum wage and then have you pay us right back. How are we paying you right back? Because when you go buy the groceries, we own those. So the money comes right back. When you go pay your rent, then the money comes right back to us. When you have to use utilities, electricity, the money comes right back to us. When you need to buy petrol for your gas, petrol for your vehicle to go to work, then that money comes right back to us. We'll also include sales tax. That money comes right back to us. We also, you want to buy a home, we'll also include, homeowners tax. We'll tax y'all. We will make sure you never have what we have and you never have enough. This is the system that was rigged against you, beloveds. And I came by here as a watchman, for one, okay, and as as a warrior, because I'm one of those as well, to let you know to get the hell out of this demonic rigged system that was never meant to work for you, never going to work for you, and create your own system. Okay? Now I can continue, since I gave you that little interlude in the middle, in between time, so you understand. 1912, they didn't sink the Titanic. 1913, the centralized banking system, what we are a part of right now, okay, was put into place. 1914, World War I broke out. Okay, and now I'm giving you little drips of what each system represented. Okay, Federal Reserve, we print the money, we lend you the money, you owe us the money back. IRS, you work, we profit. Okay, period, point blank. And you pay us back with interest called taxes. Now, 1913, the Rockefeller Foundation. The Rockefeller Foundation began reshaping medicine, pharmaceuticals. I say pharmaceuticals, that's nail. Pharmaceuticals, big pharma, education, okay? Department of Ed, child must go to school, K through 12. We gonna teach them what we want to teach them. You know what I'm saying? It's free school, but you got to pay for it, mom and dad, through your taxpayer. That's why we're taking out taxes. Okay? Science. Believe the science. Follow the science. Or we need to start experimenting and playing like we God. Okay? But you're going to fund this. And world health. We need to make sure we worried about India and worried about doing, scientific discoveries on baboons and all of this other stuff that they did. Okay? World health. If you picking up what I'm putting down, just let me know. Just let me know in the chat. Because I'm explaining this system so you get the hell out of it. It was rigged against you. Always have been, always will be. And one thing about me, I like to get to the origin of a thing. This thing didn't just start happening and malfunctioning and doing what it's doing now. No, I need to go back to the origin of a thing before I ever get involved with anything. I want to know the origin of it. I don't just celebrate Halloween. I don't just celebrate holidays. I used to when I was ignorant, but when I wanted to know, should I be doing this or should I not be doing this, I always go to the origin. When I read the Bible, I go to the origin. I know that the Old Testament was written in Hebrew and the New Testament was written in Greek. So I always want to go back to the origin. We needed to go back to the origin of what the hell is happening with this financial system in 2025. Why they out here playing in our faces? So I'm giving you that little history lesson real quick, okay? And then in 1913, the American Cancer Society. And let me just switch back over here, see if I'm like y'all picking up what I'm putting down. This is not a live show where you just sit back and you know what I'm saying. We got to stop that. This whole internet type of, social media bull crap that we got going on has literally made us dumb down. It has made us lazy. I can just sit back. You can't just come in my house and not speak. You cannot just walk into my physical door and not speak. You cannot just walk into my physical space and just sit there and we not have a conversation. Come on, we're grown. Nobody is forcing you to be here. Nobody is forcing you here to listen. The least you can do, okay? It helps me beat the machine that we're up against. Quiet is scared. People wouldn't be dealing with people that are on the front lines deal with the most warfare. People that are on the front lines deal with the most warfare. Why? Because the enemy knows they the ones that's warning everybody else. They the ones that's being a loud mouth. They the ones that's telling the people the truth. So we gonna get to them so that we keep them in bondage. And the least you can do, I'm gonna go right and see who y'all are watching me. Straight up. Then I'll know. I know one's on Facebook. I know that for sure. I know 4's watching from YouTube. Okay. I know 2 is watching from the other YouTube channel. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Because I could just get straight to what I'm here for. Sell y'all some programs because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer you some solutions. It's going to require exchanges. I don't have to teach anybody anything, and my patience is growing really thin. Been praying to God Almighty for a cool minute. I have a preference to want to work with the people that I work with. I don't have to. I can go network in networks that ain't thinking about y'all. Real talk. I sit in networks that ain't thinking about y'all. Okay, it's oh well. They have the same opportunity and chance that I have. So, who feels sorry for them? Nobody cares about them. I have recordings of how they really feel about y'all. Secret recordings that I done recorded about them talking smack about my people. I'm here on purpose. Put some respect on Dr. Tawana's name or go find you somebody else to listen to, look at. Okay? It's a new day. It's a dawning of a new day. You can't just come over here and watch me no more. It's simple, common courtesy. And I will, okay? I will pause this live to go ahead and drive you right on up out of here with this warfare prayer. Play with it. I'm the woman for the job. I take time from my family. I take time from my children. Take time from my marriage. I take time from my business to serve people because I'm a servant. You're not finna just be sitting in no bushes watching me. Because then I'm gonna know you operating with some type of demonic spirit, some type of monitoring spirit, and I'm gonna go in attack mode from here on out. Okay, this is a no devil zone. You want to come over here and learn you something that will actually help you, because that's what this is. Then you welcome, but you definitely got to engage. Okay, if I just say, "Hey, y'all understand?" Let me know. I'm not talking to a computer or a bot. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'm here to educate you. Your schools didn't teach you this. Your president ain't going to teach you either. Your parents didn't teach you because they didn't know. You have to go dig for this type of research. You can't figure out something or you can't overcome something you don't even understand. You can't win a battle against an enemy that you don't even know about. Make this make sense. So in 1913, the American Cancer Society, they marketed themselves as a charity, but tied it to the same forces pushing patented drugs, industrial foods, fear, and chemotherapy. They literally created an organization and then marketed it as it was charity. Hey, we want y'all to know the truth about cancer. But they tied to the same forces. Big Pharma, the Masano, all the injections that go into food, the media, fear mongering, chemotherapy, stuff that I can't say that. I can't say that because they be lurking in the bushes, waiting for you to say something so they can, chemotherapy. Lots of doctors who have diagnosed people who did not have that and offered them chemotherapy, knowing the chemotherapy would fry them from the inside out. Okay, moving forward, that's what I'm gonna say. You put two and two together yourself. And how are you doing, Sister Treese? So we also had global positioning. They were setting themselves up to take global dominance. This is why the United States is the superpower of the world because of this plan that happened before you were even thought of, before you were even an egg in your mother's womb. After they positioned themselves, they got rid of the ops in 1912. They positioned themselves in 1913. They created these organizations, businesses, and centralized banking, and then World War I broke out. The first fully industrialized banker-backed war broke out. And who profits in war? Is it us? The IRS take our taxes and send money to fund the wars. Because the dollar bill is not backed by anything. No gold, no silver, no real estate, no land. It's only backed by war. The dollar is only backed by war. More nations can give because, oh, they're fighting a war. They're supplying, weaponry to help our neighboring neighbors, save their country. And we, the American people, pay our tax dollars to fund genocides, to fund murder, to fund war. And who profits? The same families who now control the country. And the pattern begins. Create the problem to get the reaction so that we can profit. This is what's happening in 2025. In case you're not fans, of history, I'm letting you know why I gave you the historical education about what's happening so you understand what has happened, so you understand what is happening. The pattern begins, recycles itself over and over and over again. Create the problem, cause a reaction so we can profit. What changed after 1913? Since then, the dollar lost 99% of its value. Debt became endless. Middle class was squeezed. War became constant, but the global banking expanded. Why? Because the people lost power, but the system gained that power. The system was rigged decades before you were even born. You cannot change it, beloved. You cannot outwork yourself out of the system. You'll work yourself to death trying to do so. However, you can beat them at their own game if you learn how to play the game. With that being said, I will say this. What is this playing? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Let me change the tunes, y'all. Okay, let me put this on. So, in order to beat them at the game, you got to know the game. And in order to win the game, you got to get in the game and you got to play the game. What happened during this government shutdown? Like, stuff is still, being brought to light. We thought it was just a government shutdown. The American people were being harmed, from the shutdown. It was a whole entire reset happening behind the scenes. They distracted us with wanting us to believe, oh, they cut off your food stamps, and oh, this is a racist man doing this to black people, and the whole 9 yards. And black people are not even the majority of people who receive food stamps. The majority of the people who receive food stamps are foreigners. Okay? This whole Russia with Ukraine is ciphering our money right from beneath our very eyes. Like, the American people are getting poorer, but the international space, Russia, Ukraine, they're getting rich off of taxpayers' dollars. Off of taxpayers' dollars. This country wouldn't have no money if there was no work being done and no taxes being paid. They wouldn't have no money to even fatten their own pockets. Wouldn't be no need to print no money because you ain't going to be paying nobody. Nobody's going to work. So they take our money and then they leave the American people poor. And things are being leaked out little by little, slowly for surely. One of those things is, how all of a sudden The government's back open. Nothing to see here. We came to a resolution. Well, you guys shut down the government for 40 days and 40 nights because y'all couldn't come to an agreement. What changed in the bill that made y'all come into an agreement? What changed in the bill? Nothing. So y'all mean to tell me y'all shut down the government for 40 days and 40 nights and nothing changed in the bill to make the agreement become an agreeable agreement to help the American people? Yeah, I mean to tell you exactly that. Like the Democrats said that they were not going to sign anything or agree to anything until you gave them their Medicare. Hello, beloved. Until you gave them their Medicare. You still didn't give them their Medicare, but now 40 days and 40 nights later, y'all cool? Y'all can just go back to normal? I mean, y'all got bonuses to give people $10,000 for staying at the job, For the ones who didn't, you got shamed. For the ones who question anything this administration is doing, you got shamed. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, y'all still was building the ballroom during the shutdown. I mean, I've seen a lot of government contracts for very big amounts of money. Taxpayers' dollars. Y'all do know government contracts is taxpayers' dollars, right? This whole entire country is funded off of our backs. Gave y'all a breakdown of how they came out with this immaculate plan that have kept people in bondage for hundreds of years. Hundreds. So while we thinking to shut down and people ain't getting their food stamp, they came out, babes. They came back out of the fake shutdown that they shut down because they couldn't come to an agreement that they ended up coming to an agreement with without nothing being changed. Now you got to register in a new system to get them food stamps, and it comes with requirements that it didn't come with before. Okay, the CFPB, the people that protect us, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that protect us against fraudulent, tyrannical, illegal practices that keep us from getting loans and buying houses and being equal to others. Now, that will be dismantled early January 2026. Okay, y'all came up with that too? That the American people ain't gonna have nobody to fight for them? Okay, all right. Now you come up with, if you do receive food stamps, you got to get into our new system that will track you applying for jobs, that will be able to verify you apply for jobs. You don't apply for the jobs, you don't do what they say, your kids ain't gonna eat. Now, they had time to do all of this. 40 days and 40 nights. We thought it was a government shutdown. No, they was implementing stuff that's getting ready to be rolled out immediately. Immediately. Okay. I'm gonna show you so y'all don't just take what I say. Don't just take what. Okay. Don't just take what I say, loves. So there's a lot of people who still ain't even got their food stamps. And this is the reason why they ain't got their food stamps. Now you got to go through the whole entire system. You just got to go reapply. You want food stamps? Now you got to reapply in the right system and get you out of the old system where we ain't able to track your movements. Okay? I shared a video about the big dogs. I want to say in the World Economic Forum, it was like one of the financial persons said, we will be able to track, we need AI and we need this artificial stuff. This was like 2022, 2023. I always come and share the receipts so that they can track people food and what you spending it on and If you're not spending it the right way, if you ain't out there doing what they say, then you and your kids don't get to eat. This system was not created for you. It was not created for me. The Titanic was sunk on purpose because the wealthy billionaires on there did not agree to no centralized banking system. Why would they? And they were billionaires. They created their wealth a whole different way. Now you got these weirdos coming in talking about, nah, we're going to centralize all of this, make a one world government, just like Satan did through Nimrod when he decided to build a one world government called the Tower of Babel. Same stuff. History repeats itself. There's nothing new under the sun. That would explain why the one of the officers in the movie turned his own pistol on himself. He probably knew about it and was supposed to get out and alive and realized, yeah, makes sense why the men didn't make it. Not many of them. Okay? Not many of them. Some was eaten alive by sharks. Some was sinking. Them 3 that I told y'all about, they was drowned. And ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. Some froze to death. But you see, it was only women and children. They came up with a plan. It's an evil system that we playing with. Okay. So now people got to reapply for this stuff. That's a headache within itself. That is a headache within itself, y'all. Literally. Why? Because how are they finna do all of this with how? I gotta show y'all the video to this. Tech confirms mass delivery of Walker S2 humanoid robots for 2026. Now, I just told y'all that they said 1 million of these creepy looking things will be out in 2026 and every year thereafter up until the year 2030. I just shared that with y'all. That they said 1 million, Elon Musk to be exact, he's creating 1 million humanoid robots every year, starting 2026 to 2030. So in the next 4 years, we'll have 4 million of these things that I'm about to show you next. Hopefully it'll play here. But yeah, it's super duper weird. Let me see where it's at. We gotta go back down. Okay, here we go. Let me see if it's gonna open up in another page. It is. All right, hold on 1 second. This is ridiculous. I'm not gonna play the sound because I don't want them coming for my video, but you can see visually what we up against and what is to come. And I promise you, you can go and dig through my Facebook Messenger, not my Facebook Messenger, my Facebook Lives, and see in December of last year, I started counting down. 2026, they said these humanoids. Was it December? I believe it was the early part of this year. I went to sit in a meeting with some very wealthy people who were just extremely giddy. Okay. They were extremely giddy about this new technology. And so it was a summit. I'm sitting there listening. Everything was like, yeah, this is bomb. Yeah, this is cool. This is a tool. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Then all of a sudden it was like, I'm super freaking pumped about AGI. You guys, we got to get ahead of this thing because AGI is going to replace millions of people with these humanoid. And I left so disturbed in my spirit. I came all live. They shared more what I could share here. I shared. But I came on live and was just devastated. I'm like, bro, we didn't even know this. If I'm not at the right places at the right time in the right rooms, then half the stuff that I do know, I would not know. Look at this mess, y'all. These things kill people. Go look it up. How many of these humanoids then turned on their own owners? How many of these humanoids then attack people? Okay? And they can't control it. When I do get some time, I want to be able to share with y'all the people who created this, what their thoughts is, and how they believe that they're going to replace God. They're going to replace God with this technology. And I've been telling y'all about AGI. I also been telling you about ASI, which is the next thing that's supposed to come out in 2030. AGI was not supposed to come out until 2030. What you see on the screen is AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. What we have right now is open AI. It can make your tasks faster. It can create your ebooks, create your websites, search the whole World Wide Web without you having to go get encyclopedias and thesauruses and dictionaries and have to go over here, get information here. This thing can get you information in seconds. But this right here, they build houses. They tear down houses. They cut grass. I just showed y'all the new one called Neo X. Y'all go look it up because I ain't got time. It's called Neo X. It's the new Amazon robot that do your chores, clean your houses, do the whoop-de-whoop and wop-de-wop, okay? For $2,000. And people are in love with this. And I'm like, ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way. Ain't no way I'm ever going to have a robot in my presence, in my home, working with it alongside of it. Ain't no way, Sway. I'm sorry. Okay. Y'all can have that in the inner city. Y'all can have that wherever you want to have it at, but you ain't going to have it over here. Okay. I'm going to stick to the script. Okay. When I was born, there was no robots. In my history book, I don't read about no robots either. In my history book is the Bible. I don't read about no robots. What you gonna do, Tawana? Get ready. Okay. Sound the alarm. Build God cities where we ain't got to deal with this type of stuff because that's what God told us to do. That's why I'm buying up a lot of land. That is why I am investing and using my resources without taking a paycheck from work, from my business. When I say work, I don't work labor work. I'm talking about working the works that He has sent me to work. This business opportunities, taking the revenue and the resources. If I can't find the people that want to build, I'm going to build. If I can't find the people, the other kingdom brethren that want to come alongside, be serious, be about your Father's business, then I'm going to do it. I've always been the one to tell God, if they don't want to pray, I do. If they don't want to fast, I do. If they don't want to say that, I will. If they don't want to go there, I will. I've always been that type. So even though people don't want to do certain things, even though God has said, look, I never use one man. Okay. I raised up a man that would call the other men to come alongside, but I never use one man. This ain't no one man mission. Even Christ had disciples that helped him carry out his purpose and his destiny. This ain't no one man show. God is the man, period. So He calls us to call forth tribes. Why? Because this stuff right here that we're looking at is already written of in the Bible. It's leading to the beast system. It's leading to the beast system. Okay. And why would they ever need you if they have this? They don't care about shutting you out. They don't care about locking you out. Matter of fact, let me go over here and show you, okay, what's happening to millions in China, who is not a part of this system. This same system we as the American people about to come into. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Because if you don't think it can happen to you, it can. And it's coming. And after I share this, I'm going to offer you guys some opportunities. I'm going to tell you another reason why I said not on my watch. Let me close this out. And then let me go over here. Horrible. All right. Okay. Banned, broke, and homeless, the human cost of China's social credit system. And if you don't think this ain't coming to America, it's already here. That's why Donald Trump is getting rid of the regular credit scoring model. That's why Fannie Mae and them just came out and said, hey, we're not even using credit scores to get you approved for homes anymore. That's why Donald Trump came out and said billionaires have their own type of, credit module that they'll be like, they don't need to use a number. Okay. We're going to go based off of, revenue, pretty much. We're getting rid of the IRS, Donald Trump. We don't need the IRS anymore. Okay. We don't need the Department of Education anymore. We don't need the CFPB anymore. Okay. We don't even need the Federal Reserve anymore. We have created our own financial system that will solely focus and run off of crypto, stablecoin. Okay. We will be the super crypto capital of the world. This is his words, not mine. I'm just telling you what he said. And then he turns around and make a statement that I shared with you all a few days ago, if not last week, where he says, and people may say, well, we only got to deal with him until 2028. Well, this man said if war breaks out, there is no election. He holding something that something is coming for the people. He said there is no election, and that is the only way that a president can stay in power. Matter of fact, Steve Bannon, his right-hand man, came out about a month ago and told either one CNN or MSNBC that, yeah, Donald Trump will be president again in 2028. And that's when the crap's going to hit the fan. They're creating the narrative. They create the problem so that they can garner the attention and control the narrative. They love calm out of chaos because they create it. Now, let's check out the video of what's happening to homeless, banned, and broken people who didn't go with the flow. I'm not going to play the sound. Okay, they denied, can't go nowhere. These is young people. Pay attention. These are not old people. These are not people. These are young people who can't get into an apartment or a home. Okay, they score ain't high enough. They didn't pay their fines. They smoked too many cigarettes, drunk too much beer. These are young people. Let's just pause this real quick so you can see. These are young people, beloved. Look at that. These are young people. Young. Try to stop it when I see China undercover. Okay, they're giving the scoop about what's happening to millions. Look at this. These are young people, bro, sleeping on the streets. And by the way, Donald Trump just passed a law stating if you homeless sleeping on their streets, you going to jail. China just let them, look at them. This is all because they did not want to go along with digital IDs, their credit scoring system. Look at this. This looks like downtown Los Angeles. No lie. I'll let that play in the background while I go ahead and finish this up, okay? For a moment, I want to talk about another reason why I'm here, and I say not on my watch. I want to make a public service announcement to all women or men because I've seen both on my end. And I'll give you a little story time while that's playing in the background. When I was growing up, I witnessed a lot of DV, okay? Abuse from men to my grandmother. I watched her be choked out. I watched her get her flesh bitten off of her. I watched her get put out on the highway and have to beat the man home or get beaten. I watched my grandmother get her teeth knocked out. I watched a lot of abuse. And me being a very young child, incapable of helping or doing anything, when I tried to help, I was injured. But it didn't stop me from trying to help, okay? I just knew as a little girl, this is not right. This is terrifying. And this is not cool. And I would never let somebody do that to me. I didn't understand how you can get beat black and blue with black eyes and be rearranged and stuff. Like I didn't, I couldn't comprehend it. And then when my mom moved out, she couldn't stand her stepdad who was the abuser. And she was upset that her mother continued to stay with her abuser. And so she moved us to another city in the same state. And then all of a sudden, she hooked up with an abuser that abused her. What she was running from, she ran straight into. So I watched this man beat my mom really, really bad. Tear, that thing that separates or connects your gum to your lip, that little line. It saw him rip that off completely. Saw him do a lot of things. Like me and my brother had to use weaponry. I remember my brother had to shoot a gun like at the age of 8. Try to get this man off my mom. And I was just one of the ones that said, look, the buck stops with me. You understand me? If a person ever put their hands on me, everything that I witnessed growing up is going to come out on them. It don't matter. Like, I hate abuse in any form. Emotional abuse, physical abuse, parental abuse, child abuse. It don't matter. I hate abuse. Elderly abuse. I absolutely abhor abuse. Keep your freaking hands to yourself, period. If you ain't got nothing nice to say. So I've always been a very big defender when it comes to people being abused. As a child, we would be driving down the street and I see a man putting hands on a woman, and literally I'm trying to hop out of the car. My mama used to tell me, like, girl, you gonna get yourself hurt. Somebody gonna do something to you. But I didn't care. It was like a defender. I don't care if I was just a little kid. Stop. I get in the middle of them. Don't do that. Stop. I start screaming, to bring attention and make them stop. And I want to say, first and foremost, abuse is not cool. And I done seen men and women abused. Never thought that I'd say that I have seen men. I have film in my phone of men being abused by abusive women. It's not cool. I don't care if it's verbal abuse. I don't care if it's physical abuse. If it's emotional abuse, you were not here to be abused, and God is not with that. And Dr. T ain't either. And I want to make a public service announcement. If you ever find yourself in that situation, or if you are being abused, please reach out to me and contact me. I will keep your information discreet and private. Okay? But I will do everything in my body to get you out of that situation. Okay? It doesn't matter if I got to go on a whole rescue mission. You are worth it. And you are not here to be abused by anybody. I just want to let y'all know that first and foremost. Okay? If something like that is happening in your life, baby, we will come up with a plan. Ask the other people that I have helped survive abusive situations, taken mothers and helped them, got their children back, so much in my, because I hate that. And unfortunately, my baby daddies had to learn that the hard way. You put your hands on me, I am going to give you a tattoo with no ink. Okay? I'm going to make sure that you feel me and you're not going to put your hands on nobody else moving forward. And that's just real. That's just who I am. Love God with all my heart, mind, and soul. Okay? Not a killer, not a murderer, but I am a defender. And I will get you together if I ever see that on my watch. I can't stand it. Nobody, man or woman, was put here to be abused. I just want you to know that. And that is not love. And if you think it is, then we need to have a conversation. And if you need somebody to ride for you, then you got somebody right here that'll ride for you. Unafraid and unashamed. Real talk. So if you need to hit me up, personal message me, you understand? Put right at the top in bold or something. Help. I'll know exactly what it is. You are not suffering by yourself and you are not suffering alone. Now, the other part, of not on my watch concludes with this. And this is the reason why I'm offering what I'm offering here on this live. Okay? Here on this live. And I won't be no more than about 15 minutes. But I want to share this. I'm not at 100% liberty to share everything. Like I said on yesterday, for privacy purposes. I'm not asking anybody. When I do ask, which was a little hurtful. I ain't gonna lie, stung, but God is my source and He is my resource, and He just had to let me know, babe, I've given you way too much, okay? So I'm not here begging anybody for anything. I really wanted to, because this situation is very, very urgent. What I'm about to show you. This is in my own backyard. And like I said, I'm not able to tell you exactly who it is. But when I say they're close as my skin, they're close as my skin. Read in between the lines. And they have been in a situation that I have not been aware of for quite some time, but it's over with. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. It's a wrap. It's done with, and I need to head out to rescue on a rescue mission. Don't forget, if you're in jail, you're awarded a state, and if we have any kind of major conflict, bad, that's terrible. I forgot about that, but thank you for pointing that out. I straight up forgot about that. That's free labor. You don't get a say so in a matter. Just like you got to go fight those wildfires. Y'all do know it's inmates that fights those wildfires, especially up in SoCal. Be risking their life. Okay, for 10 cent, 5 cent for an extra bag of chips or extended visit, something like that. Something that it is the inmate. So thank you for sharing that. I need to go on a rescue mission, y'all. Okay. I need to go on a rescue mission and I need to be where I need to be by tomorrow. Okay. Share this photo right here first and foremost because I don't miss. In case anybody, I don't miss and I don't play. I don't miss and I don't play. Okay. I blew it up so you can see all inside. Okay. Nothing outside of the nines. Nobody's playing them type of games. So first and foremost, pray for me. Now that don't mean I'm finna go do nothing stupid, but it do mean that I don't play that type of games, especially when this thing is in my backyard. And I'm not gonna get too much into it because I'm very emotional about it. I'm very, very emotional. I'm hurt. My soul is hurt, and I'm gonna take some time off to make sure that something like this don't ever creep up on me or be hidden from me in the way that it has been hidden from me. Okay, so I'll say that first. Share that first. Okay. Um, this right here is a closed eye, unable to be looked out of, closed shut. When I say I need to be where I need to be, 911, and because I'm not singular, okay, because I don't keep a whole bunch of cash on hand, my resources go into investments because I said I'm building something for the Lord and his people that he has, you know, given into my care. I have to uproot my family to go on a rescue mission to make sure we rescue and we relocate. Okay. This is an eye, and this is an eye of somebody that is closer to me than my skin, if you catch my drift. Okay. And because this is bruised extremities, legs, arm, neck, bruised. And so what I'm about to share offer is solely for that purpose. Okay? That's it. I don't want to come here and ever make somebody feel like I'm begging them. Because I'm not a beggar. I got way too much stuff I'm sitting on. Okay? Stuff that y'all have never even heard of. Stuff that I've never presented here. Only reserved for my mastermind, different things of that sort. But I do have some opportunities, okay? If you feel compelled, and I never ask anybody for anything, if you feel compelled and you don't need anything that I have, and you feel it in your spirit to help this individual get out of this very dangerous situation. I've lost children. I've lost children, and that's all I'm gonna say. Okay. If you don't need anything that I'm offering, if you don't mind, if you find it in your heart, if you got 4 quarters that can share too, it will be greatly appreciated. Because, like I said, me and my family have to uproot to go to another state and then stay there on that assignment until the assignment is complete. And because I don't rely on man, I have my own business that I'm probably not going to be able to do much of. I'm not too for sure. I don't know how this going to go. Okay. I'm in good spirits. I had to pray myself through today. So I was able to show up here, um, you know, in good spirits. But if y'all want action at these opportunities, I got them for you. Okay. I help you, you help me, we help everybody. Everybody is helped. This is how it goes. Okay. You want to get out of this system and create your own system. I got you. I got solutions. Okay. I got solutions how you can start getting yourself out of this system and make your own system. That way, when they come like, oh, we taking our, take it. I'm good. I prepared. I was waiting on you. Take your system. Take all of it. Me and mine's is going to be okay. Because I took the time to prepare. While y'all was playing, I was preparing. Okay? So take your system. It's not going to stop me and mine's from eating. It's not going to stop me and mine's from receiving health care. It's not going to stop me and mine's from having somewhere to live. Take your system. We not finna be a China 2.0, even though it's here. Even though it's here. Utah had already said we implementing digital IDs so that you can be able to have a safer experience. Okay? Shop safer. Keep your identity safe. Whoop-de-whoop, wah, wah, wah. And I understand this may be graphic for some people. Okay, but I want you to understand my why. This will never happen on my watch. If it's you, if it's somebody related to me, if it's my next door neighbor, this is unacceptable. And this needs to be solved, okay? If you want to learn how to start a recession-proof, pandemic-proof, inflation-proof, and learn how to beat them at their own game, let me tell you several things that you can do to get ahead of the curve and beat them at their own game. If I was, and you got to think in the mindset of them, they created a system, it's called the banking system, where they control the world from an idea that they created about a banking system, and then how to get an income tax system to start taking money from people in exchange for free labor, okay? And then how we can build this infrastructure and then make them buy into that, and then we get that money. So you got to think along the lines. Remember monopoly. Monopoly, it is those who are rich in asset always crushes those who are poor. Poor in mindset. Everybody get $250 to start with. What you do with your $250 is going to determine whether you're going to win or lose in life. If you take your $250 and you go and invest in assets, now you're not losing, because people going to have to cross your lane and they're going to have to pay you because you bought that property. You bought things that really was wealthy worthy. The utility companies were wealthy worthy. The railroad tracks were wealthy worthy. Oil, transportation. Hello, somebody. Okay? I'm just giving y'all some nuggets y'all can pick up. So since the railroad is transportation, I want to be talking about transportation. This is a recession-proof, pandemic-proof, inflation-proof business that everybody and their mama should have. I don't care if it's just a business on paper. Okay? I'm a transportation business, so I don't care what y'all got going on. Y'all gonna need goods and services, people and products transported by airway, by highway, by waterway, by all of that, okay? So I might as well go ahead and get me into a system that ain't gonna quit on me or give out or go out. I don't care what y'all do. People, places, products, services, goods will need to be transported. Hearts need to be transported. Kidneys need to be transported. Food, medication need to be transported. Oil, fire hoses, all kind of things need to be people need to be transported, taken to dialysis, taken to the emergency room, transported from this city to that city, whether by highway, airway, railway, by any way. Okay, transportation. How you doing, beloved? Forgiven, oh one. Love that name. So I have the non-CDL start to scale. How to get in the non-CDL. They are revoking 17,000 commercial driver's license. And even for my commercial drivers, stop being pimped out by the system. You're driving for 60 cents, 90 cents, $1.50 per mile. You put in wear and tear on your body. You're missing time that you can't never get back for $1.50, $1.90 per mile. Meanwhile, the people that you're driving for have literally retired generations, at least 4 generations, and every generation is 35 years. Just in case you didn't know. 35 years for another generation. Okay. So the non-CDL space, if you want to do sightseeing, okay, if you want to do motor coach, get you a government contract to carry the football teams and basketball teams, Special Olympics and all of this stuff, that's non-CDL transportation. Box truck, that's non-CDL transportation. Sprinter van, that's non-CDL transportation. F-250, trailers, that's non-CDL. You don't need medical courier, that's non-CDL transportation. You don't need no CDL, okay? You don't need no license. You need a driver's license, but you don't need no special commercialized license. Perfect for those who are ex-offenders, who trying to get out here and try to get back into mainstream society. Nobody wants to hire them because they have a record. It's perfect for the young men that are getting out of high school, right? They can go over the road, see the world, make what they want to make when they want to make. You can do anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 every single week. Real talk. I'm gonna say the sweet spot, what I have seen consistently, is between 5,000 and 7,000, and then after your expenses such as your gas, paying your driver, because we don't drive for our own selves. We outsource. And after you pay your drivers and you pay your expenses, then you banking in about 3 to 5 profit your own self every single week. You can easily do $20,000 to $30,000 every single month, okay, in the non-CDL space. So I have that whole entire setup, how to get started. It's a whole entire masterclass. You can get that for $97. I have the 7,500 done for you digital products. Why do we need something in the digital space? Because we live in a digital society. The old system is gone. Okay, it's just fizzing out. I'm just waiting to be completely fizzled out in stages, but it's gone. If you don't got nothing in the digital space, then you are screwed for real, for real. Credit is in a digital space. Credit cards are in a digital space. Online shopping, digital spaces. Online banking, digital spaces. Everything is digital. You ought to have something in that space too. Because the old traditional way of doing things, not unless you got a skill, okay? Digital still can't go mow nobody's yard. Digital still can't, go and be a counselor to somebody. So unless you got a skill, okay, then, you safe for now. But the way they have programmed these humanoids to build homes and all of this stuff, when you pluck up cotton and all this stuff. I didn't see it all. I didn't see a twerking robot, okay, for the strip club. I didn't see a girlfriend robot for the lonely people who can't get a real girlfriend, I guess. I don't know. But the 7,500 done for you digital products, let me see if I can just show y'all how how you can use this real quick. This might be the only one that I show. Let me see where it's at real quick. One second, one second, one second. Where are you? Here you go. Let me share this. I'm gonna have to share the screen like once or twice, um, because it's going. I want you to see how easy, simplified this is. Okay, 7,500 digital products. I mean, it's fully loaded. Things on personal development, business bundle, manifestation bundle. They got a prayer journal, calming your mind journal, abundance mindset, faith-based journal. They got all of these journals, templates, trackers, digital products that people want to buy right here, right now. Okay. They got home property for those in a real estate, wellness bundle for those in the fitness or wellness, mindset. They got mental health bundle, ADHD. That's a real big one. Okay, a lot of grown adults have ADHD. Mental health journal prompts, ADHD school planner, anxiety journal for those that got insomnia, PSTD, trauma. They got travel planners, travel bachelorette party planners. I mean, like, it's so much stuff in here you can literally sell. Okay. And it just keeps going on and on and on and on. 2026 planner bundles. They already have these for 2026. They are planners. They have 2025 as well. Financial planners, girl boss planners, teacher planners, crafting planners, medical planners, digital reading journal, self-care journal. It is fully loaded. Okay. Here go 50 Canva templates all in one page. If you have an emotional issue, morning check-in, habit tracker, grocery list, wedding contacts, you name it, expense tracker, to-do list, 12 monthly calendars. Here's calendars, people that got blood sugar log, productivity planner, monthly goals, weekly chore list. These are things people buy. Okay. And then you get 80 freebies here, back to school, the alphabet, prayer request journal. You got a whole bunch of stuff. Diabetes tracker, how to stop smoking, to-do list, side hustle tracker. You got some more stuff here. Daily gratitude, password, logbook, keep all your passwords, all of that stuff. Then you get down here to Faceless Digital Marketing Bundle. The ultimate faceless guide. Now, this stuff all can be sold. Let me tell you this right now. Let me get back to where I was at. Faceless digital marketing, Canva, Instagram, faceless YouTube, automation. You absolutely get 2,000 luxury travel reels for content for you to sell this bundle. All you got to do is put the text, hey, download my 7,500 digital product here. You just put the text on the screen. It's already done for you. Luxury hotel reels. Okay. I'll give you a perfect example. Want to show you 7,500 different digital products. Now, if you sold each one of these digital products for just $97, you would have $750,000. If you sold each one of these digital products for $47, you would have $350,000. You're literally sitting on in this bundle. So what you would do is you would find what you want to click on, what you want to sell, each one, or you could sell the whole bundle. Here's some Etsy Profits Playbook, Mastering Pinterest. Okay, 128 digital product mock-up listing template. It gives you everything you need. So say, for instance, I'm going to click on this. As you click it, it's going to take me to another page. Let me click on this. Hold on one second. Okay, let me not click on the reels. Let me go to something else because it's going to take me to the Google Drive, and I want y'all to see this. Faceless Instagram Marketing Guide. Let's click on that. And then I'm going to stop the share so y'all can see real quick. and then put you over here. Once you click on that, it's going to bring you straight here like this. Okay. And then I'm just going to hit view template. And then I'm going to hit open in editor. Okay. Now that it's open in editor, okay, as you can see, it's fully loaded. It's already done for you. You just sell it. All this stuff is already done for you. Okay. And this is 44 pages long. As you can see right here in the bottom right-hand corner, it says 6 pages out of 44. That's why I said you can sell this for $97. You can sell this for $47. It got a lot of valuable resources in it. Okay. It's not just some, hey, 1 page or 2 pager. No, this is put together well together, and you didn't have to create it. Literally, all you got to do is come and hit the share button. Right here where it says only you can access, change that to anybody with the link, hit copy link, and now you can send this out in emails. Now you can post this on your website, on your store to sell, okay? Fully loaded. You don't even got to go in here and do anything. If you wanted to come in here and do anything, big or major, put your name on it. That's it. Created by Dr. Tawana Worlds, okay? I can change this just by clicking on it and just say Dr. Tawana Worlds. Okay, I'm going to minimize it a little bit because it's really big, but boom. And then I like that photo on there, but if I didn't like that photo, I would just click on this to highlight it like that. And then I will come over here. I will come over here to photos right here to the left and say I wanted to offer this for Christmas. Then I would just put Christmas. Look for me something Christmas decoration, Christmas design. It is the holiday season. I'm offering this at a discounted rate because it is Christmas time. So all I got to do literally is make sure that's highlighted over there. And then I can just drag that over there like that. Boom. Okay, we're done. Literally. Okay. There you go. Now all I got to do is download it. So these are already done for you. Okay. All you got to do is come put your name on it or change the image on it if you wanted to change the image on it. If you wanted to leave it like it was and you absolutely don't care, like me, then you just don't care like me. If you want to switch that picture and put this one, you think this one looks a little bit better. No, I don't like that one. Maybe I should choose another one. You can do that as well. Okay. Say I'd rather have this one instead. You just dragging and dropping it. Okay. Now I have the Instagram, faceless Instagram marketing, this guide to unlocking, potential of Instagram successful faceless accounts. If I want to go back and I don't like that or whatever the case may be, put it back like that. It's back to its original. Okay. Everything in there is just like this. Y'all literally can get it for $47. I normally sell this whole entire bundle discounted for my cousins at $97. But since I'm on a mission, okay, and I need to be somewhere by tomorrow, you can get it for $47. The non-CDO start to scale, all kind of ways to get paid in the non-CDO space. You get that for $97. The credit bundle, okay? If you ain't got good credit, you're screwed. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. That's a system. This new social credit scoring system is going to be the system. I didn't say it. Donald Trump them said it. I dare you to go fact check me on Google. Just go type it in. Social credit scoring system in the United States. Excuse me. So I have the credit bundle, which includes a sweep, 4-day credit sweep, where you can sweep your credit all the way together, get it together, get everything negative, derogatory, erroneous, or obsolete removed from your credit report before Trump dismantles the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, because that is who we use with the credit sweep. We use them and we use the law because they're the big boys over Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Okay? Government is open. Go get them. Once you get your credit swept in 4 days. Okay? You ain't never had nothing like that happen before. You ain't never got no fast results like that before. You can get your credit swept in 4 days, and then you can go get to the bag. So I have a credit bundle, the 4-day sweep and the $200,000 in funding. Why? Because that's the goal of sweeping your credit. Go sweep it and go get the bag. The sweep is going to sweep it the perfect way so the bankers can fund you because they're looking for specific things. That's why you ain't got time to be out here pussyfooting around trying to get this removed and that item removed and going back and forth with the bureaus. No, go straight to the big dogs, get it removed, okay, and then go run up a bag. You guys can get that sweep and the $200K funding for $97. Um, let me go on to the mentorships because I got to get up out of here. If I got 20 or something, like I got like 7 minutes literally to get out of here. I want to keep it reasonable. I want to keep it short, sweet, straight to the beat. It is very, 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 okay? I just figured out what I'm doing wrong. I keep comparing myself to where you are, and I'm still at the infancy stage of trying to get digital traction, and I'm simply overwhelmed. Yeah, you can't come out swinging like that, but you're going to get there, okay? And you're going to get there momentumly. If you take the information I give you and implement that, by the next week, you're making traction. You're making momentum. And then the next week, you're making more momentum. And then the next week, you're making even greater momentum. And then guess what? Before you know it, you'll be right where Dr. T is. I didn't come up in this thing and get no $1 million first. No, Sway. Took me 3 years to get my first million. 3. But I was able to do 90,000 in the first year. And then the second year, I did like 500,000. And then I just kept pushing myself. Well, I did 500,000, I'm going to do $1 million. It's momentum. If I compare myself to you and how you look and how you've lived, I mean, I'm going to mess my own self up, right? Trying to compare myself. I have to invest in mentorships. Why? Because they're going to take me to where I'm trying to get to. When I first get there, I'm not going to be where they're at. That's the reason I invested in the mentorship. Help me get to where you're at. My job is to implement. Your job is to educate me. How did you do it? Oh, that's how you did it? Bet. Let me go ahead and do this, okay? And stick to it. Consistency is key. Do y'all know sometimes I get on here, there's 0 sales? I don't be like, man, forget this. I'm out of here. I'm gonna put. I done had hundreds of people on my lives to, and the way I do my lives is strategically. It's on purpose because I don't want the hundreds of nobodies. I would rather have the few somebodies. That's it. First come out the gate, all the, oh wow, who is this person? No, I work in small numbers. And I learned that. I'm going to share that with y'all probably the next time. I learned that from wealthy people. I learned that from a man who used biblical principles to excel his business. He only go out and get 12 people because that's all Christ had. 12 disciples. That's all he needed. He started off with a lot, but a lot left him. 12 remained, and he used those 12. And those 12 went and reached the world for him, okay? Same model he gave to me. No, if you're going to have maximum people, 12 is a government. Just in case you didn't know. Now, I'm not into astrology and all that. I'm into straight up Bible. And if numbers was not important to God, it wouldn't be 3 days Christ rose. It wouldn't be 3 and 1, Father, Son, Holy. It wouldn't be, day and night. As long as the earth remained, there'll be seed time and harvest. That's threes. It wouldn't be that. So that's how he told me how to go about doing it. If I reach one person and that person is supposed to reach millions, and I've reached 1 million in one person, just from one person. If I try to reach the world, I'll end up reaching nobody. And right now, a good thing for you is the holidays. And we talk about this in our mentorships. People are hurting for the holidays. They don't have their loved ones. You can always get them in. It's always about the bait that you're using when you're fishing. Some people got to use crabs. Some people got to use worms. Some people got to use chicken. Some people put some gizzard on their line. Okay. But it's momentum. It's never you come in straight out the gate. You're going to get there. Okay. Stick with me. You're going to get there. If I'm a millionaire and I've already did it, then I can help you become a millionaire, right? But when you start hanging around and doing millionaire activities, before you know it, you'd have $1 million. That's why it's good to be around people that are where you're trying to go. If I'm trying to get 100%, I got to leave the 50% in order to go hang out with the 75%. Because the 75% know more than the 50%. Then when I get to 75%, I got to go hang out with 100% because I'm trying to get to the 100%, right? Once I'm 100%, I can go back and pick up the 50% and bring them to 100%. Pick up the 50%, 75%, bring them to 100%. Think of it that way, okay? International automated, be your own bank. Why did I say both of those? International automated business. Let me tell y'all. It is a gold mine. Can I teach you how to get money globally? That's all I'm saying. I'm even offering it on a discount. Can I teach you how to teach other people this AI, this digital stuff, the little stuff that I'm teaching you is like major, okay? How to show other, and yeah, charity begins at home. I do a lot of work here and we still can do work, but internationally, there is a big, big, big need for them to know how to keep up with the rest of the world. And I'm going to show you how to start you an automated where you ain't got to be across the world to run a business across the world. You just need the game so you can get in the game and play the game. I have the game. You can have this up and running in 30, 45 minutes. If America want to burn, baby, burn. Listen, I am well-rounded like the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 11:1. Invest into 7 ventures. But before it even say that, it say cast your seed across the waters so that you can get a harvest back from somewhere else. Don't get familiar and dependent on no one stream of income and no one means of income. The Bible itself, go read it. Ecclesiastes 11:1 and 2. You ain't even got to be a Bible baby to go read that. Okay? But right now, people in Jamaica, people in the African continent, Asian continent, they need to know how to use AI and then what places they can go to actually become a freelancer and make money over in their country to provide for their family. It is, you can do Airbnb for the wealthy folks because they got, well, don't think these countries just have poor people. They don't. They have wealthy people. Diplomatics that come in from different ambassadors. You can stay at my Airbnb. that I run remotely from America. Okay. You can eat at my cafe. I'm employing people there, right? So I'm paying them American dollars. It's like $5 is like 1,000 over there for them. Okay. But I'm showing you how to start and scale you an international automated business that you don't have to be there and present to run. How to outsource it. It's a whole entire mentorship. You can get in for $497. Okay. Originally, I'm gonna charge you $1,000 on a discount. Full price gonna be $5,000. Why? Because I'm about to expose you to hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you can't put up $497, you're not ready. If you can't put up $997, you're not ready. If you can't invest $5,000 into yourself, how is God gonna give you $50,000? You're the best investment. If you have all these unlimited beliefs, how could God pour anything out on you and trust you to be, the forerunner for your family? I mean, how can he trust you to be overseers of other souls? You're not even confident in yourself. You don't even believe that you're valuable enough to invest in your mental, acquisition, your mental real estate. You're not willing to invest to learn something new that will help lead out future generations. Okay. So I have the international automated business, $497. Be your own bank mentorship. Okay. Separate from what I do, I show you exactly how to become your own bank, how to literally become your own bank. That's not me just saying fancy words. No, I'm going to show you how to become your own bank, borrow from yourself, have other people borrow from you, have other things in place that gives you the resources to be your own bank. So you can stop going to the bank asking them, can they loan you this loan? No. You have your own stuff and you can set yourself up for the rest of your life. Okay? Becoming your own bank. Have that mentorship for $497. I will allow 2 of you guys to get into the government contracts. Okay. That's my focus right now. It's the best time. They dump money right now because they have to get rid of it before December. If they don't, then their new fiscal budget will not be allocated for them. If you only spend $150,000 and we gave you $1.5 trillion and you only spend $150,000, next year you're only going to get what you spent this year. So they start pouring boatloads of money. Oh, you write books? Here's $100,000. Oh, you change tires. Oh, you do lawn care, janitorial. Sorry. Hey, here is $250,000, $300,000. They have to balance their books. It's the greatest time to be a government contractor without even being a government contractor. Okay. I will give 2 people the opportunity to get into that mentorship for $497. The land bankers mentorship. We're buying homes for pennies. And 10,000 might not be pennies for you. 5,000 might not be pennies for you. But when it ain't your money, it's pennies for you. Okay. Let me use your money to go buy this property that's going to make me money. I'm going to pay you back. And then I'm always going to have lifelong wealth for me and mine off of your money. Thank you. I'll holler if I need you again. Okay. I'll rinse, wash, and repeat. I'll be back. As soon as I pay off half of this, I'll be back for another one and then go rinse, wash, and repeat. Okay. Land bankers mentorship. We cover some heavy stuff. And anybody in that mentorship, well, there's more than anybody. Anybody watching live in that land bank mentorship will let you know. This is how you are able to learn, what to expect when you go and buy land and you want to parcel it off and different things of that sort. How you can make you $1 million on an RV parking space. How you can use the bare minimum, land, dirt. It's the foundation of everything. It's the cleanest way to make money. Dirt. Invest in dirt. So we cover so much. USDA loans, all kind of loans that's available for you to be able to buy the land and build on land if that's what you want to do. You can offer seller financing, where it's another form of you becoming a bank. You can offer traditional financing to people who don't want to deal with the bank. Okay. There's a lot of migrants that are here that don't have credit, social security, numbers, and they don't have no credit established, and they like to live in rural places. Okay, that's where you become the bank. Give me a down payment, you're gonna make me monthly payments on my land. You forfeit after 90 days. My land is still my land. Okay. You forfeited your down payment. You also forfeited your monthly payments because you didn't pay for 90 days. Now I have possession of my land. I have possession of my title. And I'll just sell it to somebody else. Okay. So there is a man right now. Dang, did I send that to myself? I'm going to get y'all on the next one. Okay. So that you guys will be able to see. There's a rich guy. He's the owner of Roblox. Some of you guys may know what Roblox is because your kids play it. This dude then went and bought up so much acres of land and turned around and sold it back to the government contract for conservation on his land. Like, dude is a straight up, he's working his way to become a multi-billionaire. He's past a billionaire. But I'm trying to put y'all onto the same thing. They don't know nothing different that I know. I paid for this knowledge, okay? I paid for it. If I went and paid $50,000, then I'm gonna find 50 people to pay me $1,000. I'm gonna get my money back, and 51 of us, we're gonna all learn this information that they charged me $50,000. That's the name of the game, okay? I ain't robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, just give me my bread back. See my money back so I can go invest it in something else that we can learn from. Have not taken a paycheck. So the Gov Money Mentorship, I'll let you get in for $497. Land Banker Mentorship, I'll let you get in for $497. Okay. International Automated Business, $497, and Be Your Own Bank, $497. Originally, I have offered them at $997, and then I have a couple of done for you opportunities. If you want me to do your government contracting registration, set you up, the whole 9 yards, it's $997. Get you ready to go, and you still included, you get the mentorship, okay? Because you're going to need to know how to maintain your contracts. But I will do the heavy lifting, only two on the done for yous. I will do the heavy lifting for you. I will register you. I will create your entity, get your documents together, get your cage code, you know what I'm saying? Get you registered in Unison Marketplace so that you can go and get to the bag. Okay. Then you have the mentorship so you know moving forward how to maintain your contracts, how to use AI to go win a contract for you, a non-bid purchase order, where to find the money in your backyard, how to go get your money back from Sprint, Verizon, the utility company. I mean, contracts everywhere. At the core of everything that I do, I'm still a government contracting officer because when they took my 40 acres in the mule and yours too, okay? You ain't got to be black to be taken advantage of by this system. We all have. I'm going to get my reparations back from the people who took it. Not walking around here, marching around here, burning down nothing around here, chanting around here for no crumbs. No, give me back my reparations. Give me back my land and give me back my wealth, okay? So I have it done for you, $997. My husband is also offering a full, complete transportation build out. And he made me aware just because we're trying to get where we need to get to go do what we need to do. And that is recover, okay? We need to rescue, and then we need to relocate. What I showed you all on here. So he will do the transportation build out and give you access to the government contracts for $1497. He will do all the heavy lifting, your EIN, your LLC, your MCDOT number, your trade lines. He gets you all the way together, okay? And then he will mentor you so that you know how to, hire, go find your fleet without having to have credit or money down, all of that stuff like that. Your insurance, what you're going to need, type of insurance you're going to need. He's going to mentor you to get you all the way together. So he would do the heavy lifting on the build out aspect, the paperwork, the foundation, and then he will train you as well as we will give you access to government contracts because that's where the millions is at. You can go get you a 15 million contract to start a transportation van service for those in the rural areas where there's no public transportation, no buses. Okay, stuff like that. All kinds of contracts for transportation. Um, so he has the entire build out plus the government contracts for $14.97 for both. You snooze, you lose on that. You only take two on that. We also have get you fully funded done for you, where we will get you funded on the front end, 30 to 50,000. Get your score. We will work with you. We don't take your information. We don't use anybody's personal information. We don't even receive anybody's personal information to work on their credit. Okay, we work together, but we go ahead and do the heavy lifting and get you to a 700. Because when we get you to a 700, we utilize the sweep, we utilize the trade lines, different things of that sort. When we get you to a 700, we go get you the big bag. Okay, a very, very big bag. Okay, and that's our goal. We need a lot of money because we so behind. We don't have years to go and work. We don't have hours to go and trade. We need it fast. Like JG Wentworth. It's my money and I want it now. Okay. So I have the credit and funding good, fully funded. Normally I charge $2,500 for me to do all of your heavy lifting and get you together. But I will extend that to two people for $997. Lastly, my one-on-one 12-month mentorship. If you're just a person that I know that I'm called to this. I know that this is what God called me. I want to do these things rightly. I want to know exactly what to do. I want you to take your time with me, Dr. T. I want you to hold my hand and hand hold me. I want to get in your brain. I want to meet with you weekly and you help me implement this stuff out, grow, and do what I'm supposed to do because I want to do. I'm not gonna say what you are doing, but if you call to me, then you're gonna do what I'm doing eventually. My one-on-one mentorship for a whole entire year, I charge $5,000 on a discount. Okay, if you got into my millionaire mastermind or anything of that, and I've showed you guys receipts, you have to pay me $10,000 to $25,000. I don't even offer one-on-one mentorships, right? Because I can teach one-on-one what I can teach one to many. Okay, to me, in my eyes. But the Lord put it on my heart that this is not just a mentorship, but a mantleship. It's a transference of power. It's a transference of knowledge. Somebody got to keep the movement moving. And in times like this, when I need somebody to stand in the gap and, they know how to keep the show rolling, they be well equipped to be able to do so on top of having their business and all of that built for them. You get to learn, 6-7 figure event days. I mean, it's really exciting. And I love pouring in that place, so I'm yielding myself. Normally I'll charge $5,000 for 12 months. That is cheaper than a McDonald's worker. Okay. McDonald's worker makes $22,000 to $30,000 a year. I said $5,000 for 12 months, but I'm going to do one person that, want to go with me. The honors to be able to get in for $2,500, 12-month one-on-one mentorship with Dr. Tawana. Okay, you get to travel places and go places and all that stuff. It comes with a lot of perks because it's a mentorship. I don't even really call it a mentorship. Yes, you're learning, but it's a mentorship. So it's a greater assignment. Okay, that's what I got for y'all. If you are interested in any of that, you probably need to make your next move the best move because when I hang this up, then it's a wrap. Okay. If you need something that I have, then I have it readily available for you. If I need something that you have, which I do, okay, I need to literally get the resources that is going to be needed to go out here and do what I need to do and do it at such short notice. Okay, I don't have weeks to wait to go over here and liquidate this. Can you take this off of here and liquidate it? I don't have that type of time. Okay. This is a life or death situation. So, if anybody's interested, payment information is on the screen. It's also in the description of this video. Instagram, unfortunately, It's not over here for y'all for giving a one. Georgia Jackson 50. I'm sorry. It's not over here for you, beloveds. What's up, Brother Charles? Hey, mentor, the man with the plan. I love you. If you guys are interested, go ahead and hit the DM and I will send you the information that you're not able to see that I'm talking about. Yeah, when I say it's on the screen over here. Okay. With that being said, I gotta go. Like I'm way over time, but let me get you all the way together. Okay. You help me, I help you. We help the world. We do what we're supposed to be doing. Okay, that's what it is. What was to be your own bank? I don't think that one. I don't think I did that one, but probably should. No, you're not a part of this one. Okay. So to be your own bank is multiple ways for you to become your own bank. Um, Leveraging other people's stuff, but there's a lot of ways to become your own bank. Too many to name here. Okay. Too many to name here, but I teach you multiple ways to become your own bank. I gave y'all like one example, seller financing. If you wanted to buy a home or you wanted to own a piece of property, it builds you something, but your credit is not good, or the banks is not messing with you, giving you no type of loan. Now I become the bank. You don't have to go to the bank. You can come straight to me, directly to me. I will sell you the land with a down payment as long as you have cash on hand. Ain't no credit check, none of that involved. I will write you up, a legitimate bill of sale, and with the bill of sale, I will put in the stipulations that, hey, this is the monthly payment after the initial down payment. This is the monthly payment. There's so many ways, balloon payment, so many ways that you become a bank. But in short form, um, you know, I'm like, hey, this is our contract. And, you can build on here. You can get busy doing whatever you want to. But if you miss 90 days of payments, which is 3 months, I understand life happens and things happen. But if you miss 90 days of payment straight, then you forfeit the contract, which means you forfeit your down payment, your monthly payments. It gives you passive income. It gives you residual income. You can take and buy 5 different parcels and do that to each one of them. So many different ways to become your own bank. But now you become the bank and other people come to you. And that's just one example. Okay. So what was the name of that course? That course is Be Your Own Bank Mentorship. Any questions? I forgot to ask y'all. Did y'all have questions? All right, Instagram, I'm out. Any other questions for me, you guys? To be honest, sister, you might as well just take the deal and come and do a one-on-one with me so we can get you all the way together. How about that? Okay. You just get everything. You don't have to buy another course. You ain't got to keep on buying all these courses from Dottie T. You ain't got to. Just come on over here. Okay. This is special for you. Okay. So especially reduced price for just specifically for you. Let's work one-on-one. I'll show you everything. No tax on tip, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. Seeing some pop up, okay? But that one is Be Your Own Bank. Is there any other questions for me? If you guys don't want any digital products, or you don't want anything that I offered, I do have land and all of that for sale, but my mind can only focus on this right now, okay? I even have a couple houses for sale. Whether you want to buy them to live in or buy them to rent them out, I have some houses coming up for sale. That's what I'm saying, sister. Get over here. Okay, we're doing something different. Get in over here where you fit in. But I will, once I get to my destination, then I'll be able to elaborate a lot more on that and offer those to people who want to get them some land for the low. If you guys don't want any of those opportunities, I have some other opportunities too. Okay. Laugh out loud. I thought of that one-on-one, but what was the price for that one? Now see, if you thought about it then, that means the Holy Spirit told you. You just been procrastinating, sister. Anytime the Lord send me out here, I know it's for somebody. Okay. Because for one, I don't really like people. I love people. I got to be 100%. I love people. I do. I love you. I will be there with you through thick and thin. I will be your friend to the end. You hear me? When it says a brother is, sometimes friends stick closer than a brother, but a brother is born for adversity. That is me. There's nothing that you will go through on my watch and go through it by yourself. Like, I'm a friend to the end, but I don't like people. So when the Lord was like, do you know how many times I done opened this up and shut it down? Say, oh, hell no, God. Mm-mm. But then I get abused by the Lord. A good abusing is called chastisement. I get abused by him, when I don't listen. Because it's not about me. It's about what he's trying to do in other people that he have called to a higher dimension and a higher realm. And if they just get out of their cells, as to 985, if they just get out of themselves, and coachable, then God can get them to the destination that he wants them to get them to. But I don't like people much either. Okay, high five, girlfriend. High five. I love them, but I don't like people. I'm real introverted. My husband will tell you that. I'll be like, Lord, how did you even give me a husband? Because sometimes they get on my nerves. I'm like, could you just shut up? He'd be like, what? Like, could you just be quiet? Like, I don't even want to talk right now. I don't want to hear your breath. He'd be like, something wrong with you, lady. I'm like, yes, you married it. 20 years and counting. Okay. 20 years and counting. 20 years and counting. I still don't like to hear you talk sometimes. And then I done had his kids. Lord have mercy. I done had his kids. I done had his children. You feel me? And they talk too. It's like, oh my gosh, what a punishment. Very introverted. Okay. But the one-on-one mentorship, I've offered it for 5,000. Okay. Sister, I'm offering it tonight to one person for 2,500 just because I have the urgent situation that I need to rectify. And I don't know nobody. I know I'll do it for you though. Okay. I won't do that for everybody. That's why I said it's only one person, and God knows the right person, because that is a year of my time. Offer for 2,500 with a tip. Okay. Because I'll be working for a bakery bread, I guess. I'll be working for do the Lord's work, or for a pecan pie, I reckon. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, tonight only. You'll get that. Well, I'm glad it's you. Come on, please, before somebody else be like, Dr. T, you don't understand. I got people that stalk you, girl. So that's why I don't put it out there like that, because people literally stalk me. They be like, I just want to get next to you, and I can't believe I talked to you. I'm like, babe, I'm not a celebrity. Okay, I'm a regular smuggler. Oh my God, you answered your phone. Yeah, why wouldn't I? Like, I answer my phone. I gotta usually go through ABC. No, I answer my own phone. Okay, if I had 100 clients, I'm gonna answer my own phone. I'm real like that. And when I can't, and you need to talk to me, I have an assistant that will forward you to me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, so I hope it's you. I hope it's you. God, my heart. I could vibe with my sister because I know her now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could vibe with my sister right here. I love her momentum. I love her drive. I love her ability. Okay. She gets stuck sometimes in her own brain, but I absolutely love her willingness and her efforts, that she's not a bull crapper. She's she putting these young people to shame. So I would rather work with you, Yeah. But those who God lead, I will definitely be obedient. I love y'all. I gotta go. Okay. I said that like 14 minutes ago, but I gotta go. And if you guys didn't want anything on today, every love offering helps, counts. I never come by here and ask for anything. I believe, and I'm a firm believer, that it is better to give than it is to receive. And if I was at liberty to tell y'all what I really wanted to tell y'all, then I would. But it's still dangerous right now, so I can't. And I told y'all on the last live that it is a 24 to 48 hour type of situation, life or death. Okay. So if you don't want anything, please so kindly, if you got 4 quarters, can I get two? I need to go rescue. Okay. And I'm going to just share the photo on the way out. So it's a real deal to me. And when I'm able to share, when everything is legit and this individual is in safety, then I will be able to share. Okay. That is an eye swole shut. And that is a person who has been being swole shut um, and harmed for almost a year in silence, afraid, embarrassed, ashamed. And I've been totally unaware. And this is not acceptable ever. Okay. So if you love me, even if you don't, but if you do, I'm reaching out to you. Okay. I'm not asking for something for nothing. I wouldn't do that. I've offered opportunities that you can take advantage of. I super discounted them to let you know, like, it's real and it's urgent. But if you don't want any of those and the Lord puts it on your heart to help me intervene, then I know that He will repay you 100-fold. Okay. I always pray for those who do any kind of good deed. Whether you send me a message, say, hey, I love you, I'm thinking about you. But, that God will show up in your time in need as you show up in my time, because I am in need and I need to go get my stuff together because, yeah, it's time for me to go. And time for me to get straight to it, okay? I'm not going to leave the video up here for privacy and security reasons. But while I'm live, I wanted to share with y'all because I always got receipts. Let you know it's real. If I ever come by here and ask y'all for anything, it's an emergency. Because you ain't going to ever go back through any of my posts and see me asking for anything. I'll always advocate for other people, okay? And I use wisdom when doing that. But when I say, I need your help, this is a situation that is in my backyard. Hopefully you have enough discernment to know that this is very, very urgent. That being said, I love y'all. And pray for me. Pray for my family. Okay, cash apping to Let's Do Kingdom. Yeah, spell it just like that. Okay, spell it. Make sure you spell it just like that. And as soon as I pull up, then I got you covered, sister. Okay. As soon as I pull up, and I'll let you more. I'll let you know more. So, what's up? Okay, I love y'all, and I will see y'all soon. Pray for me as I pray for y'all, and remember, if something's going on that is harming you, please let me know. I want you to know that I'm your sister. Okay, I will be your cowboy, a cowgirl. I will be your knuckle sandwich. Do you understand me? Okay. There's a scripture for that. Proverbs 20:30 say a severe beating will knock all the evil out of somebody. So I'm with it. I'm with the smoke. Let me know. I got you covered. See y'all next time.